If you're one of the 93% of American families that shop at Costco, you've probably stood in front of those refrigerated ready meals wondering, are these actually worth it? Or am I about to waste $20 on glorified cafeteria food? Well, I just spent 3 weeks and over $300 testing every single one so you don't have to. And what I discovered will completely change how you shop that aisle. Today, I'm ranking 12 of Costco's most popular ready-made meals, 7 to avoid like the plague, and 5 perfect pickups for tonight's crazy schedule. Some of these meals are absolute family dinner heroes. Others are overpriced disappointments that taste like they were assembled by someone who's never actually eaten food. The problem is, not all of these meals are created equal. And when you're feeding a family of 4, a bad choice doesn't just mean wasted money, it means disappointed kids, frustrated parents, and that sinking feeling of I should have just ordered pizza. So let's start with the 7 meals you should absolutely avoid, beginning with the worst offender of them all. Number 7, worst. Mac and cheese, the grease bomb. Let's start with the meal that had my entire family pushing their plates away after just 2 bites. And trust me, my kids will eat almost anything with cheese on it. Costco's mac and cheese isn't just rich, it's what food critics are calling a grease bomb that's too heavy for most people to finish. We're talking about 520 calories and 850 milligrams of sodium per serving, making it both the highest calorie and second highest sodium side on their entire menu. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. Multiple Reddit users describe watching their kids, who normally demolish mac and cheese, leave half the pan untouched. The texture is described as thick and gluey rather than creamy, and the cheese sauce separates into greasy puddles that slide off your fork. You're essentially eating a meal's worth of calories for what should be a side dish, and it tastes like someone mixed cheese powder with heavy cream and called it a day. Even hardcore mac and cheese lovers are giving this one a hard pass. Number 6, bulgogi beef, the sweet disaster. Moving up one spot, we have a meal that proves sometimes international flavors get completely lost in translation. Costco's bulgogi beef contains 21 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than a can of Coca-Cola in what's supposed to be a savory dinner. Food reviewers consistently describe it as too sweet, with meat that falls apart in an overly sugary sauce. Professional taste tests rank this consistently in the bottom tier, with critics noting the sauce is cloying and the beef texture becomes mushy during the recommended cooking time. Instead of the complex savory-sweet balance you'd get from authentic Korean bulgogi, you're getting beef-flavored candy that costs $18 to $22 per tray. The worst part? The sweetness is so overwhelming that it completely masks any actual beef flavor. You're left with expensive sugar-coated protein that'll have you crashing an hour after dinner. Number 5, gyro kit, the assembly fail. At number 5, we have a meal that proves assembly kits sound convenient in theory, but this one shows some foods are better left to the professionals. The gyro meat arrives dry and shrinks significantly during heating, while the tzatziki sauce is described by taste testers as weak and bland. Multiple reviews mention the meat having a processed texture that doesn't resemble authentic gyro at all. Tasting Table specifically calls out this kit for dry meat and notes that the sauce lacks the tangy, garlicky punch that makes real tzatziki special. You're paying premium prices for what tastes like cafeteria-grade Greek food that needs serious doctoring just to be edible. And the real kicker? By the time you add your own seasonings, fresh vegetables, and decent sauce to make this kit taste good, you could have just gone to an actual Greek restaurant and gotten the real thing. Number 4, meatballs and rigatoni, the spongy mess. Coming in at number 4 is a meal that proves sometimes the classics should stay classic, and this modern interpretation shows exactly why. The meatballs have what reviewers describe as a spongy texture, suggesting heavy use of fillers, while the sauce is over-sweetened, to the point where it tastes more like marinara-flavored syrup than actual tomato sauce. Business Insider's family taste test specifically called out this meal for artificial tasting sauce and meatballs that don't taste like real meat. You're getting pasta and meat-flavored protein balls swimming in sugar sauce, not the comforting Italian meal you're expecting. What makes this frustrating is that meatballs and pasta should be foolproof comfort food. The fact that Costco managed to mess up this basic combination suggests some serious shortcuts in the ingredient and preparation process. Number 3. BBQ rib tips, the bland disappointment. Taking the number 3 spot are ribs that will have you questioning everything you know about barbecue. Despite the long cooking time, often 75 minutes or more, these ribs consistently come out bland, with sauce that's either too sweet or completely flavorless, depending on the batch. Multiple food bloggers note that the cook times on the package are significantly underestimated. And even when cooked properly, the meat lacks the smoky flavor you'd expect from quality ribs. You're paying $20 or more for ribs that taste like they were boiled and then had sauce poured on top as an afterthought. There's no smoke flavor, no proper seasoning. And the texture suggests these ribs have never seen the inside of an actual smoker. For the same price, you could get real barbecue from most local restaurants, or even better ribs from the frozen section that at least attempt authentic flavor. Number 2. Chicken Street Tacos Kit, the soggy letdown. At number 2, we have a meal that proves Taco Tuesday should be a celebration, not a disappointment that makes you miss Taco Bell. The tortillas become soggy during heating, and the chicken, while using Costco's rotisserie chicken, gets overcooked and dry when following the package instructions. YouTube reviewers consistently show the tortillas falling apart and note that the rice often comes out mushy rather than fluffy. You're getting taco components that don't work together, creating a meal that's messier and less satisfying than just buying rotisserie chicken and making your own tacos. The irony is that Costco sells amazing rotisserie chicken separately, but somehow ruins it when they turn it into a taco kit. This meal illustrates how sometimes convenience can make things more complicated and less delicious. Number 1. Stuffed rigatoni, the bland filler. And taking the top spot for meals to absolutely avoid is something that sounds fancy, but delivers absolutely nothing. This meal is the definition of bland filler pasta, stuffed with what tastes like seasoned cardboard, covered in a sauce that adds no meaningful flavor enhancement. This meal consistently ranks at the bottom of Reddit tier lists, with users describing it as flavorless and not worth the calories. You're paying premium prices for what essentially amounts to expensive pasta with no personality, the kind of meal that makes you appreciate how good a simple box of Kraft mac and cheese can be. It's not just that it's bad, it's that it's aggressively boring in a way that makes you wonder why anyone thought this deserved freezer space. This is the meal that perfectly represents everything wrong with the stuff pasta with cheese and call it gourmet approach to ready meals. Alright, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I know we just went through some pretty brutal reviews, but I promise the next part is going to be way more positive. If this video is helping you make better choices at Costco, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. Now, let's get to the good stuff, the meals that are actually worth your money. Here's the thing that might surprise you. Costco actually has some ready-made meals that are genuinely impressive. I'm talking about meals that had me going back for seconds and nearly clearing it before my kids got to it. The difference between the failures and the winners comes down to 3 things: ingredient quality, cooking method, and understanding what comfort food should actually taste like. When Costco gets it right, they deliver restaurant-quality food at warehouse prices. These next meals justify the entire ready meal concept and show why millions of busy families make these a weekly staple. Number 5. Beef stuffed peppers, the balanced winner. Starting our winners list is a meal that proves sometimes the healthier option is also the more delicious option. These peppers deliver what nutritionists call a balanced plate: real beef, actual vegetables, and a reasonable calorie count without sacrificing flavor. At 8.5 out of 10 in professional taste tests, they consistently rank among the most satisfying options in Costco's ready meal lineup. Good Housekeeping praised these for authentic flavors, noting that unlike many ready meals, these actually taste like something you'd make at home if you had the time. The beef is properly seasoned. The peppers maintain their texture. The filling has enough flavor complexity to keep things interesting. You're getting restaurant-quality stuffed peppers that provide nutrition and great taste, a rare combination in the ready meal world. Number 4. Meatloaf and mashed potatoes. The comfort classic. Moving up to number 4, we have a meal that proves sometimes the most traditional approach is the most successful. This delivers exactly what it promises. Classic American comfort food that tastes like it came from someone's grandmother's kitchen. The meatloaf holds together properly, has actual seasoning, and the mashed potatoes taste like potatoes, instead of reconstituted powder. Multiple taste tests praise this for homey savoriness, noting that it's one of the few meals that delivers the same quality across different Costco locations. No weird surprises. No artificial flavors masking cheap ingredients, just solid, dependable comfort food. You're getting a meal that satisfies both kids and adults without any gimmicks. Number 3. Salmon with basil pesto butter. The elevated choice. Taking the number 3 spot is a meal that proves Costco can compete with restaurants when they focus on quality ingredients. The salmon is properly portioned, the pesto butter adds real flavor complexity, and here's the shocking part, the cooking instructions actually work. Professional reviewers consistently rate this 9 out of 10, calling it impressive flavor for the price. Tasting Table described it as elevated, noting that it feels like a meal you'd order at a casual restaurant, not something from a warehouse store. The salmon cooks evenly. The pesto butter doesn't separate or become greasy, and the final result looks as good as it tastes. You're getting restaurant-quality fish that tastes like someone who knows how to cook designed the recipe. Number 2. Enchilada baked with rotisserie chicken. The family favorite. Coming in at number 2 is a meal that's actually better than what most people could make at home. By using Costco's famous rotisserie chicken as the base, this meal starts with an ingredient that's already proven delicious. The cheese-to-sauce ratio is perfect. The spice level hits that sweet spot of flavorful without being too hot for kids. And here's something rare for a ready meal. It actually improves when reheated as leftovers. This consistently ranks 9 out of 10 in taste tests and has achieved what food bloggers call cult status. Reddit users buy multiple trays at a time to freeze. It's the go-to solution for busy weeknight dinners. You're getting big, bold flavors, feeds a family generously, and somehow gets better over time. Number 1. Chicken Alfredo with Penny, the undisputed champion. Taking the number 1 spot is a meal that's so consistently good it's basically the gold standard for what Costco ready-made meals can achieve. This succeeds because it focuses on execution over innovation. The Alfredo sauce is creamy without being greasy. The chicken is tender and properly seasoned. And the pasta cooks to the perfect texture every single time. No weird aftertaste, no artificial flavors, no disappointing surprises. Professional taste tests rate this 9 to 10 out of 10. All Recipes calls it reliable comfort food, and even critics admit they'd buy it for their own families. It's consistent, whether you buy it in California or Connecticut. You're getting restaurant-quality Alfredo that costs less per serving than most takeout, feeds 6 to 8 people, and tastes exactly the way you hope it will. Here's what 3 weeks of testing taught me. Costco's ready meals are a tale of 2 extremes. When they get it right, you get restaurant-quality food at warehouse prices. When they get it wrong, you're stuck with a giant tray of disappointment that's too big to throw away, but too bad to finish. The winners all share 3 characteristics: quality ingredients, proper cooking techniques, and respect for comfort food classics. The losers fail because they prioritize convenience over flavor, or try to reinvent foods that shouldn't be reinvented. The mac and cheese tries to be rich, but becomes greasy. The bulgogi tries to be authentic, but becomes candy. Your strategy should be simple. Stick to the classics Costco has perfected: the chicken Alfredo, the enchilada bake, and the salmon. Avoid anything that sounds too good to be true or crams too many flavors into one tray. When you're standing in that refrigerated aisle, remember this ranking. your family dinner, and your wallet will thank you.